What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to this Anfield Agenda news roundup, but we're going to talk about a potential replacement for Ibrahima Konate from the Portuguese league. We're then going to give you the latest on a crazy story linking Liverpool with a move for, and you're not going to believe I'm actually saying this sentence, Lamine Yamal. I know, it's nuts, but we'll tell you all about it. We're also going to give you some information on the situation with a midfielder from the Bundesliga that Liverpool have been linked with, and a couple of interesting other bits and pieces. As always, I want to know your thoughts, so let me know in the comment section. Drop a like on this video if you enjoy it, and we would love you to hit that subscribe button. A bit of a reminder, you're watching this on Wednesday morning. We won't be live tonight for the late night agenda. We're going to take the night off and enjoy some Champions League football ourselves, but we will be back on Thursday, as always, at 8:45. So, until then, let's get stuck into the news. A bit of an announcement from FIFA about the referees in the Club World Cup coming up this summer. They will wear body cams and it will provide a new perspective, they say, for spectators and give a better understanding of some of the refereeing decisions. A new rule will also be tested to punish goalkeepers who keep hold of the ball for too long. Now, Dale Johnson of ESPN confirmed after Arsenal's 3-0 victory, and well done to Arsenal on that one, by the way, over Real Madrid, that Premier League clubs are now guaranteed 5 places in next season's Champions League. That result was enough to tip the coefficient over what needs to be, and they are, well, nobody can catch the Premier League basically. So guaranteed 5 Premier League clubs via the league positions in next season's Champions League. If United or Spurs were to go on and win the Champions or the Europa League, that would also put them into the Champions League. So there would be 6 Premier League clubs then in the competition for next season. So a crazy situation from a West Ham, WestHamZone.com, to be quite honest with you, said PSR shocker, West Ham could lose Jarrod Bowen to Liverpool in £75 million move. Now, I don't think there's any world that Liverpool spend £75 million for I think, 28-year-old Jarrod Bowen. But the club's own fans and their own thought processes is that PSR issues could see West Ham maybe have to make a sale or two. I think if we're talking about Mohamed Kudus, maybe way more likely. But Jarrod Bowen, I would have loved him 2 or 3 years ago, but nowhere near that price tag now at that age. So I'm going to say that one won't be happening. So a story coming in from some websites, and Africa Foot said that Liverpool will consider a move to sign Braga defender Sekou Niakate if they end up losing Ibrahima Konate. I'm sure you guys don't need to be told that Ibrahima Konate will only have 1 year to go on his Liverpool contract at the end of this season. A report that we brought to you guys the other day suggested that Liverpool's currently paying him £80,000 a week, and he wants a wage jump up to £200,000 a week. Now, most of the Liverpool fans I've spoken to agree he absolutely deserves a pay rise, but 200 grand a week? I think Liverpool should be looking to do business with Ibu at about 150, but if the worst comes to the worst, I think the club have to make a decision early on this one. If you can get a contract extension sorted out, or you're willing to move to the money he wants, by all means. But if you can't, well, then you've got to move him on as quickly as possible and recoup as much as possible. Now, of course, I want a contract extension, as do all of you guys, I'm sure. But if it doesn't happen, again, just to confirm, Braga defender Sekou Niakate is somebody who has been mentioned as a player that Liverpool are looking at. Right, I promised you a crazy story about Lamine Yamal, and again, this is definitely belonging on a certain island that we like to talk about here on the channel. I'm going to read this piece out to you. It said, Liverpool are reportedly monitoring the situation of Barcelona wonder kid Lamine Yamal amid the Nou Camp's club's worrying financial position. Barcelona's well-documented issues have seen them have to cash in on players in recent years, or others being unavailable to be even registered to play. The situation could leave them forced to cash in on the 17-year-old sensation whose contract expires next summer. So 1 year at the end of this year on his contract. Look, I'd love it, you'd love it, heck, any football fan in the world would love the idea of their team signing Lamine Yamal. But he always stood out to me as somebody who will be a Barcelona player throughout the majority, if not all, of his career, much like Leo Messi, who of course at the tail end of his career went elsewhere. But I don't see it, nor do I see Liverpool coming up with the money that Barcelona would want. But look, You can dream, right? As a fan. Lamine Yamal to Liverpool. Let me know in the comment section where you would put this one in the realms of possibility from 0 to 100%. Give me a number. I'm going to put my number at 3. 3% chance. That's what I think, and I think I'm being generous. So, another story to finish up today is around a midfielder that Liverpool have been looking at from the Bundesliga. This piece here from Kicker said Freiburg's Merlin Roll, 22 years of age, has caught the attention of Liverpool. The Reds face competition from Crystal Palace and Newcastle for his signature. Freiburg has set a price tag of at least 21 million for the promising 6'4" midfielder. Now, 6'4" midfielder does make me pay attention because I do love the idea of a very strong unit of a midfielder in the centre of the park. Freiburg have been decent in recent times. Again, a lot about this makes sense. £21 million is certainly a reasonable fee with regards to what Liverpool would have to pay. In the Bundesliga as well, a league that is more than a high enough calibre. And his age at 22 would be one that you would say would tick a lot of boxes once again for Michael Edwards, Richard Hughes and the Liverpool recruitment team. We've also been linked with a Freiburg right back as a possible replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold, and I will get his name for you now in one moment. This story here said Liverpool have been in contact with the representatives of Freiburg right back Kylian Sildilia regarding a potential summer transfer. So that's two players there from Freiburg that Liverpool have been, well, at least accused of being looking to do business. Again, you're talking about young, up-and-coming, promising players with a realistic price tag, and they're the type of stories that make me think, yeah, this one kind of does fit the mould of what Liverpool and specifically Michael Edwards looks to do, is get those statistically high quality players who are maybe not as hipster, maybe a name as some of the other ones that we've mentioned, like Gittins as an example. I don't think Edwards, Liverpool or Hughes would look at him and see value in that. I think he's a player that has been spoken about so much that it would come with a price tag that they would deem not really value. So for me, these type of players I think pay attention to, but let's wait and see what happens in the summer. So again, I'm going to say we won't be live tonight as you're watching this on Wednesday. Now I am recording this late on Tuesday, but we will see you on Thursday for the late night agenda. Of course, all roads lead to the game against West Ham coming up this weekend. Don't let them get in your head. Liverpool are still top of the Premier League form table with the most points from the last 10 games. Crystal Palace are second on that list, and Arsenal are 4 points behind Liverpool solely based off those last 10 games alone. So don't let them all get in your head. The Reds are going to win this league title. Yeah, it hasn't been pretty over the last month, but we'll celebrate it, we'll enjoy it, and we'll very much deserve it. Thank you guys for watching as always. We'll catch up with you soon. Much love. Bye-bye.